Hi guys, another Division 2 video. Let's get it. Okay, so yeah, in the past I've done raid videos, but they've always been like really high crit, high damage builds. But I've never really done one for beginners to explain how easy it is to get a raid build put together. Um, Myself and my team in my Discord were starting to redo scheduled raids every Tuesday for key runs. If you're interested, I'll post a link in the description. Um, so I thought I would do a quick video to help newer people that are coming to the raid for the first time or returning after so long. When because the build that I'm gonna do now is relatively new. A lot of people, if they haven't played this game for years but have come back, it's a massive difference and a lot easier to get than the old build. So what's the build we're talking about? Well, the build is the strikers build. It's as simple as that. It's a four-piece strikers. Some people do like to run the chest piece and the backpack to get that extra damage. I don't really need it, so I don't bother. If you haven't got the Coyote's mask, you can also use that as your fourth piece and have different gloves and different knee pads if you wanted to. Um, but this is the build. It's quick, easy, and simple. I'll go through it really quickly. The things that we like people to have. Okay, we'd like people to have the demolition specialist. And the only reason why we do that is, as far as the raid's concerned, is because it allows you to ignore mortars once every 60 seconds. And in both raids, that is a really good thing to have, especially for newer people. So that's why we have the demolition specialist. The gun is entirely up to you. I like to run the 𝑵𝒊𝒔𝒆 because I think the shock rounds are really good. Um, but you can run whatever you want. If you want to run an LMG, if you want to run an AI, run an SMG, it doesn't really matter. As long as if it works with your build and you can shoot shit without dying. That's basically it. Okay, so that's why the first one is that one. I do run the sledgehammer shotgun for the second one. Again, it's you don't need to run it. I just run it because that's how I like to run. Because I like to buff the boss for everybody else. So everybody else gets an extra damage buff from the sledgehammer perk when you shoot him with that gun. The Coyote's mask, it's all crit. That's all we care about. You put you want your highest crit chance, crit damage, and then you want your mod to be the highest crit damage that you can get. For the chest, like I said, again, you can go for striker's chest, but I've gone with a Fenris because of the weapon damage, so I can have the 10% assault rifle. And it's the same again, all red. Weapon damage, crit chance, and then your highest crit damage mod. Holster is the same, crit damage, weapon damage. Backpack, same old, crit damage, crit chance. You know what I mean? With the highest mod that you can fit in. Gloves, same old. Knees, same old. Okay, so because it's all about a crit damage build. That's all it is. Full red DPS. Blues don't help you. For newer people, you might think that the more tanky you are, it just takes you longer to die. That's all. The idea is you got to kill them before they kill you. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? There's no other way of getting around it. For Dark Hours, really is a shoot shit don't die kind of strategy that we use. For Iron Horse, it's a little bit different. We do have to work as a team. We do have to. Each and every person have got their own little role to do, but we still need that full DPS build. So that's why it comes in handy. You don't have to use this in any other scenario. Do you know what I mean? I don't run this build when I'm running and gunning. I have a combination of different things. But for this raid build, this is what I run. And as far as the skills are concerned, you should always have the Reviver Hive. The Revive Hive allows you to get your ass up if you go down, because what you got to remember is if you go down and you haven't got the Revive Hive and somebody has to come and get you, they're putting their self in danger, so then that's two people down. And then someone else has got to get two people up, and then we've got three people down. It's just a domino effect. So that's why we try to avoid that by having Revive Hives on. As far as your second skill is concerned, it's whatever you want really. It doesn't really matter. I run a shield. I mean, I don't use it a whole lot. I think actually the reason why I've got the shield on is because if I'm kiting Boomer, I'll change my chest piece to a Vanguard. So then if I bring up the shield, everyone gets an armor buff. So that's the reason why I run that. But sometimes I run a drone, I run a turret. it doesn't really matter. You can run whatever you like with that, and the pistol is, again, it's whatever you want. So that's it. So that's the build. Now I'll just quickly explain how easy it is to get this build. Okay, so if you want to check what the numbers are that we need, now we do normally say 50 crit chance and 150 crit damage, but honestly, I mean, I've got 37 crit chance there and 166 crit damage, and this build will fly. The damage buff that I get from the strikers and all the weapon damage from each piece, honestly, the crit chance and crit damage, it doesn't really need to be that high. I mean, I will put a link to my other build that I've got where I have got 200 plus crit damage. That's a good build, but it's a lot harder to find. It's a lot harder to farm for. This one is simple, no nonsense, and these are the kind of numbers you're going to be looking at. And what you've also got to remember as well is the crit chance will go up if you change your gun. That's we like to do the 50-150, but the only reason why the crit chance is only at 37 is because I'm using the 𝑺𝒐𝒎𝒆𝒕𝒊𝒔𝒆. If I switch to a gun where I can put the attachments on it, I can put crit chance attachments on, I can put crit damage attachments on, and that will bump that up a little bit, maybe another 10-15%. But as is like that, 37 and 166 is fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. They're good numbers to aim for. That's it. If you can get a little bit better than that, awesome, but don't worry too much about that. But you do want it. You don't want 12 crit chance and 35 crit damage. I mean, that's really is a little bit too low. You want it as high as you can get it with the items that you managed to get hold of. Okay, so in my opinion, the easiest place to get this build is in the countdown. So what you want to do is you want to open up your map. And if you look there, it says select targeted loot. So on PC you hold down H, and then you pick striker, and that is it. And then every single piece, what I do is I just put a random build on, and then what I do is as I kill the enemies and they drop one, I put anything in any slot, so any striker piece, and then as soon as a better one comes, I swap it for that better one. I just keep going until I've got the best build that I can possibly get, and they do roll pretty good. I've got to admit, you know, I mean, striker is a really easy build to find. So an hour or two, maybe 2 hours in here. And then what you've also got to remember as well then is if you're missing any exotics, you can use the countdown points at the countdown vendor. Just show you now really quickly, and you can buy your exotic caches there. So you might be able to get the Coyote's Mask, you might be able to get 𝑠𝒕𝒊𝒔𝒆𝒄, or whatever you think that you need for your build, you can get them from there. So yeah, so when you've got your countdown points, you come here to the countdown vendor, and if you scroll all the way down to the bottom there, that's where you can buy your exotic caches. So that's it. Again, it's RNG, so you might not always get what you want, but it's a good way of doing it. So yeah, so that's it, guys. Like I said, we're going to be running raids in my Discord every Tuesday because that's when the keys reset for the raid. You get 5 keys. But a lot of us have got multiple characters, so we're happy to run as many people through as we can. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description to the Discord. Just join, just sign up. Don't worry about experience. Don't worry about anything like that. We will help you. We'll teach you. We'll guide you. There's enough experienced people that we've got that we can help anybody and everybody. I mean, I've run some really rough raids and still got people through to the end. So yeah, definitely sign up if you're interested, and hopefully I'll see you in one of the runs. Enjoy.